Hello friends, we are together again with Pandit Arjun Chakraborty, the widely traveling astrologer who is giving his knowledge and sharing to people in many countries. How many
Thank you so
countries
much.
actually?
Actually, it's not a big thing, but I have traveled to 16 countries
Wow.
and I have given lectures in several European universities. And like basically for the last 12 years, for 6 months a year, I'm in Europe, and for six
Half a
months, I'm
year.
in Kolkata. It's more than
Half
half
a
a year,
year.
actually,
More.
6.5 months. Like recently, I have returned, and very soon I will
Travel
move
again.
away to Europe again. But this is not the big thing, but the important thing is that the lucky thing for me is I have the practical experience of working with people in the subcontinent, like in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and also a completely different culture, that is the European
Absolutely.
culture. I have also worked in Egypt, Kazakhstan, in a
Mm.
slightly different kind of a culture. So it helps me to see how the planets manifest themselves in different socio-economic conditions. So if I tell my like young budding astrologers, like if you want to work online with whole world, if you want to give consultations to people who are living in different countries,
Okay.
born and brought up in different societies, you have to learn to adopt. You have to learn to make your techniques flexible. Now there are many techniques actually. Let's say Sarasati, for example, there is a
Okay.
transit of Saturn.
Mm.
It does not work so much in the West. There are some
Really?
other techniques connected to nakshatras which work even better in the West than in India. So you will have to gradually observe a lot and get used to adjusting your techniques in different places. In Islamic society, some other techniques work. This is not the video to discuss all those techniques because we are still in the beginning stages.
Yeah, but it was
Yes.
interesting to mention this because
Yes.
we talked about the difference between
Yes.
the so-called Western astrology
Yes.
or the mainstream astrology, let's call it, and the sidereal or Jyotish.
Yes. Yes.
So it is part of this, what we
Yes,
already
yes, yes.
discussed
Like
in previous
like
videos.
same techniques, the same planet. For example, when we talk about the seventh house, that is the personal life. Like for example, in our country, in India or in Bangladesh or in Pakistan, because I have got some consultations in those places also. So normally we believe that Saturn in the seventh house gives difficulties in personal life. But in the West, in many horoscopes, I cannot define in which exact places right now. Saturn and Ketu in the seventh house are the planets which give the longest and most peaceful marriages.
You look
The
at that.
relationship is more like soulmates.
Oh,
Yes, so it's beyond physical, it's beyond practical, it's of a different level
okay,
completely.
fine.
So, so different places. But if you have, for example, Venus in the seventh place, in the Western world, you will mostly have problems in personal life. You'll mostly have
How is
problems.
it in the East?
In East, it is if Venus is alone without the disturbance of
Okay.
any other cruel planet, then it is fine. But if it is having
Life is
disturbance of cruel
beautiful.
planet, yes, yes, yes.
What everybody
So it is
wants.
very difficult to generalize. It is very difficult to generalize. Now,
And we
as
shouldn't, I
you
think.
shouldn't. You have to look very carefully the aspects, the nakshatras, the navamsha, the divisional charts, a lot of things. But
Oh, you
yes.
mentioned now so many things which we didn't even mention
Yes,
up to
no.
now.
See, my
Yeah.
my target is to go step by step.
And we are doing
Absolutely,
that. No?
absolutely step by step. See, just imagine how much time it takes to become a doctor, how much time it takes to become a lawyer or an engineer. It takes a few years of hard work, right?
Many
So,
years.
yeah, so why should we believe that we will predict the future, which only God can, and then we will be able to do it? So, we are trying to be half God.
Oh,
So, how is it possible to learn this in a few months or even 1 year? You may learn the basics, but you become a good astrologer with practical experience. So, do a lot of consultations. Do a lot of consultations at the beginning. You can give even free consultations to your friends or to your close relatives, but you need practical experience. You need the theoretic side also, but don't be over theoretic. unless you practice those theories and you see which are working, which are not working, which are working in some horoscopes, and in some horoscopes some other techniques are working. So only practical experience will teach you to discriminate between those techniques, and you will gradually form your own style, that I am working with these techniques, because it is said in Vedic astrology there are 500,000 rules. You know just about the planetary periods, Vimshottari Dasa, the most popular planetary period system. In the text called Sarvartha Chintamani, there are 602 rules how to work with Vimshottari Dasa.
Oh.
Yes, I have read all those rules, but of course I cannot apply all those rules.
Okay.
I have to select which one I will work with, because we are not Parashar, we are not Varahamihira. We have to understand that. We don't have that kind of level of intellect and memory. We don't have, unfortunately. We are in deep Kali Yuga. We have to
Yeah,
understand
that's why I would ask.
Yes.
Why are we like that?
Yes, you know, when I read the Parashari Hora, it was a long time ago, it is clearly stated by sage Parashar that I am simplifying the subject for the less intelligent creatures of Kali Yuga. But even that simplification is not that simple. Even if that is not so simple.
Not so simple.
That is
for
not
our
so
mind,
simple.
okay.
So I like to keep it simple for the beginning stage. Gradually, you learn one by one, you take some other techniques. So this is how you gradually become an astrologer.
Let me ask, if somebody who doesn't want to be an astrologer and listens to us, will they benefit?
I think they will benefit. You see, they will benefit in two ways. Now, firstly, it is good to know everything a little bit. For example, if a housewife knows a little bit of Ayurveda, what kind of herbs can heal
Okay.
the fever of my son, does it have any harm? It is very
Not
good
at all.
actually. So it is very good to know the basics a little bit. Oh, you know that Mars is exalted now. So my son is Aries ascendant. He can get a little more forceful at this moment.
Yeah.
There is no harm
So
in
this
knowing
is for
this.
our private knowledge as well,
Yes.
if we don't want to be
Yes,
consulting
yes.
people, etc.
And the other thing is, you know, unfortunately, in all professions, there are many people who are honest and many people who are not so honest, who are scaring people.
Okay.
And so it will protect you from getting into the hands of not so good people who are
So
trying to misguide you.
ignorance is always to be avoided.
Yes, yes. You should
So
not be
this is
completely ignorant.
A
Yes.
general knowledge which everybody
Yeah.
can learn for them their own use.
Yes.
Even to know why would one go to an astrologer and consult. Right?
Yes, for example,
To be prepared.
Yeah, for example, if you know your wife is Scorpio, like influenced by the zodiac sign of Scorpio, you will know how to behave with her. Just have some basic idea that okay, today she's a bit irritated, let's not fight with her, tomorrow it will be okay. So you will be able to handle your life better without going to a consultant astrologer. Go to a consultant astrologer when you need to be seriously advised about something. Yes.
Very professionally.
Yes, yes, yes. But basic knowledge is very nice to have in any subject.
So it is gaining some basic natural intelligence in how we can use such a knowledge.
Yes, yes, yes. And we are talking in a very friendly way, in a very easy way.
Yes,
So that I
yes.
guess the people, let's say the people who are not into astrology will feel that we are telling a story. That is the objective. That is the objective. The listening to a story and learning something.
So would you tell us about Venus a little bit?
You know,
or-
actually, I will tell
Maybe
about
sometime.
Venus in the next video, because
So-
today I decided to explain a little bit how to become an astrologer and why you should listen to videos like this, even if you are not an astrologer.
Yes.
But in the next video, I will talk about Venus, because I have already talked a bit about Moon.
Yes.
So Venus is the other female planet. So what is the difference between Moon and Venus? So please be a little bit patient. We will be back very soon
And actually,
with Venus.
nice to subscribe and hit the
Yes.
button, the bell button, so
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
you get.
You know, I am a little bit shy about this, telling people to subscribe. So you please do the job for me.
Yeah, then I'm doing that because there is this subscribe button which you can press.
Yes.
It is in red, so when you press,
Yes,
you are
yes, yes.
subscribed. And
Yeah.
when you press the button of the bell icon, then you will get notification when a new video is uploaded.
Yes.
So
Thank you so
we
much.
meet again
Thank you
soon.
so much. Namaskar.